Steve,
Mitch, hello, mate.
how you doing?
I'm well. I'm good. Fresh start to the week. I'm feeling good. Energized. Ready to rock. Ready to knock another week over.
I took about a whole 8 seconds to bring it up, but Sharks Knights game last night. What do you think?
Oh, mate. I thought the Sharks tried hard. I just thought we. No, I thought we did. I thought we tried hard. I think we lack a bit of leadership and just quality halves. I thought we were always going to struggle that game, but
to be honest, it was a pretty shitty game all around. It was kind of pretty lackluster, fair few errors.
Hey, don't talk about your team like that, mate. 7th. Here they are. The Mighty Knights settled in. 22 points.
It's
finals berth for the Knights.
It's the top 6, then the rest. I'm sorry to say it, but
it is.
Whoever Panthers are just going to roll right through them that first week. I'm sorry, but it's not going to be pretty.
I actually think it's a little different now. I think if they finish 7th, they play 6th in an elimination game.
Oh yeah, they changed it, didn't they? Yeah.
So at this point in time, they'll be playing
Para.
The Eels.
They're a chance against Para.
Knights should make week 2. Let's go.
Para have been dreadful lately. They've been terrible.
They've been shit. But to be honest, if I hope the Knights make the finals because I've got a soft spot for them, obviously living in there.
It'll be close down the bottom, that 7th, 8th position. Plenty of teams hunting about.
I'll be praying. If we can get 8th, I'll be stoked, but I just don't see it happening anymore. That's all good.
We've got a bit of a new segment.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to do it all week or ongoing, but we're doing it today, and then we'll probably run with it for a little while because I think it's a good way to start some conversation. But I actually got the idea off another guy on another podcast. Some of you guys might have heard of him, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, and he does a bit of a segment every so often, which is overrated, underrated. So how it works is we address a topic and then we both put our take on if we feel like it's overrated or underrated, or you can actually say it's properly rated. So if you think it's how it is, you can say properly rated. But for today, Steve's got 2 topics. I've got 1 topic. We haven't consulted with each other prior, so it's going to be interesting to see what each of us have. And then we're both going to discuss that in a little more detail. So I'm going to let you lead the way today, Steve.
All right. So, as we've said, Mitch doesn't know what I'm going to ask, and I have no idea what he's got in mind. So this will be interesting. But the first topic I'm going with is it's a food. It's a chocolate bar actually, and I'm talking about the Bounty Bar, the coconut Bounty Bar.
Yeah.
Is it? What do you think, mate? Do you reckon what is it?
Underrated.
Tell me why. Why do you think
underrated?
It's underrated? Why do you think it is?
I think it's very different to all the other chocolate bars. Like if you think about Mars Bar, Kit Kat, Time Out, it's nothing like that. And I don't think it gets as much recognition as some of the other more popular bars, to be honest. I think it's very unique. I think it's a bit of a niche bar. It's got the coconut interior, but I think underrated.
You think underrated?
What do you think?
Mate, do you know what? Can you name me another chocolate bar on planet Earth that takes you to a beachside town like Bounty does? You have a bite of the Bounty, the coconut, the tropicalness really comes out, takes you away to an imaginary place far, far away in like Bora Bora or something.
Yeah.
Bounty absolutely is underrated. Absolutely it is.
I agree. It is that it's got that summery, relaxing feel to it with that cool, sweet coconut on the inside, laid with a beautiful chocolate on the outside, beautiful milk chocolate.
Mate, have you manufactured this? You're
pretty much. But I haven't had one in a long time, I must admit. But and to be honest as well, like if I had to pick of a few bars, I don't know if I'd pick it.
You wouldn't, mate. You wouldn't.
But they are, like, objectively speaking, they're very different, but they're top notch.
Honestly, 2 things. Number 1, I think you've done a sensational job with trying to sell the Bounty. I think Bounty's got onto Bounty's heard the Break-Thru Active podcast and said, "Hey, Mitch, give us a plug," just quietly. And then number two, you know how you're talking about how you haven't had a bounty for a while?
Mm.
A couple of months ago, I'd had a bounty for 10 years. Rolled home, and Darcy goes, "I've got you a bit of chocolate." "Oh, yeah, sweet, no worries." Whacked out a bounty, and I was absolutely livid because I was just like, "You're kidding. A bounty of all things." Anyway, I was like, "No dramas," and I ate it, and I was just like, "Aha, where have you been all my life, bounty?"
Are they?
Jeez.
Do you find them in the favourites boxes?
I don't know. I was thinking that the other day. I think you do. I think some you do.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty good. Like I said, it wouldn't be my go-to, but I think there'd be some really die-hard bounty fans out there. Like,
absolutely,
their favourite. Anyone who
absolutely
anyone who likes coconut, man, it's good stuff.
It's one of my favourites now.
Yeah,
it's the best. Bounty
underrated.
Officially, it is officially underrated.
All right,
hit me.
My one is a TV show, and I know you've watched it because we've discussed it before.
Yep.
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually waiting for all the episodes to be released for season 5. I know some of them are out now, and I have watched it. I'm up to date. I think it's rated. I just think it is where it is. I don't think it's. I think, you know, obviously a lot of people are talking about it, and rightfully so. It is a good show. I don't think it's talked about as like one of the greatest shows ever, and I don't think it gets talked about as like, oh, it's almost like swept under the rug. I think it's rated. I think it's bang on.
Disagree.
Do you think it's overrated?
No, underrated.
Underrated. Turn it up. Underrated.
Have you watched any? Have you watched any of season 5?
Nah, not yet.
Oh, blowing.
It's that good.
Absolutely blowing my socks off.
Love it.
Oh, mate, I watched the first 4 seasons. This was probably finished season 4 last year at some point, because I remember we've spoken about it. And then
I remember I was talking to you about it, and you said, "Oh, what part's he up to?" And you're like, "Oh, I can't tell you too much." Yeah. Loved it. It's a good show.
And then season 5 has been out for a while, but Kate and I have, you know, not binged it. There's only 4 or 5 episodes out. We watched it over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's getting really, really good.
It's really tense.
Every moment of every episode.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it. I'm just going to binge it hard. Once they're all out, all 10 eps, I'm just going to go boom. Just nail them.
And just quietly, Pope, what an actor he is.
How good is he?
Oh, he's the best. And
How good is he?
He's such a good character.
He, honestly, his portrayal, that bloke, whoever the actor's name is, his portrayal of Pope, it is one of the most underrated performances ever.
Yeah, he's
so
great.
Good.
Totally, he makes the whole show, actually, because Pope's such like an out there character, and he just does it brilliantly. But I know it's been done before, like in a movie and stuff, but the whole storylines, it's
mad.
It's really different, and just the whole narrative of where it's started and what's happened with Kay and the family and then Smurf and everything. It's I don't know. I don't think it gets talked about enough. Like I think
really.
I don't know if I've never had anyone really give me like say, oh, it's a good show. Like a few people, but not like
really?
something.
Okay.
Yeah, not like something like the Queen's Gambit or.
Oh, it's better than the Queen's Gambit.
You know, there's some shows that people just talk about pretty.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, Animal Kingdom's always like, oh yeah, like I watched the first 2 seasons of that. Like,
see, I think it comes down to like who we've had conversations with, because whenever I've spoke to somebody, like people about it, heaps of people have said to me, got to watch Animal Kingdom, greatest show ever. I'm just like, what?
It's in my top couple of shows ever.
It is good. It is
probably my top 5 shows ever. So
that's a big call, mate. That's a big call.
Season 5's just really getting it done for me.
So if anyone listening to this hasn't watched Animal Kingdom, give you a hot tip. So Mitch has just put in his top 5 favorite TV shows, and he likes every single television show that's ever been released. So what that's telling you? Go watch Animal Kingdom.
Very true. Very true. It's the top. It's the top of a long list of shows that I like.
Top 307.
Yeah, it's top 5. So
Yeah, that's right up there, mate.
all right, last one.
All right, last one. It's something I've thought about for a long time. It's not in the middle for me. It's either one. It's either one or the other, and it is Triple J. So just the station as a whole, Triple J.
Overrated.
You going overrated, are you?
Overrated.
Why is it overrated?
Well, I'm just going to preface this with saying like I don't listen to radio at all, so I don't listen to any other stations or anything. But
Okay.
I think that there are a lot of people who really love Triple J. Like they'll listen to it every day and they're really getting the music and they like that it's independent and the rest of it. But I think there are a lot of people who tune in just for the top 100 and just like to say that they listen to Triple J because it's kind of like the cool thing to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think those people who aren't true fans maybe give it a bit of like it's a bit overrated because every man and their dog are apparently the top 100 now. So if you are someone that listens to it pretty religiously, it's probably underrated really because I think it's like it plays a lot of very, like I said, independent new music and stuff that you would never find anywhere else. But for the casual listener, a little bit overrated.
That's funny, mate. I like that.
What do you think?
Mate, I think Triple J is the most overrated thing ever. It's like I can tell you why. It drives me insane. So Darcy, my wife, absolutely, she's average Triple J listener, like loves it.
I got no problem with her then.
I just think, like, why do you want, like, so when you, like, obviously you hear, it's good hearing independent artists and hearing new music come through and whatever, right? But every time I listen to Triple J, if there's a song I like, I've got to whip out the phone to Shazam it all the time, right? Because you don't know when it's going to come next. The song could get played in like another week, right? Yeah. So again, there's that point. It's just an absolute pain in the backside to constantly go, what song is this? Shazam. And then Darcy will say, just look on the Triple J website at 2:32. I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Just like tell me what it is. And then again, it comes back down to they don't familiarize the artist enough. Like obviously like 106.9 and 105.3 and that they play Ed Sheeran and Pink every 2 songs. And obviously that's too much, right? But just with Triple J, I just think that
you think they don't play enough of the good artists.
They'll play a song, and if you like that song, I feel like it doesn't get played again for like another 3 days, and then you got to catch it at a certain time, and then I just don't feel like you can. How are you meant to support it? This is me anyway. How are you meant to support an artist when you don't actually know who's singing that song and who the artist is, and vice versa, without like checking your Shazam every song? It's just I feel energy like draining.
Maybe they're almost like too far at the other end because like I know they're very like I guess the opposite of what the other radio stations are like, where like you said they'll play Ed Sheeran's new song 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
They play it in the morning on the way to work, they'll play it at lunch, and then they'll play it in the afternoon. But then it's almost like uncool to beat a song to death, even if it is good. So
I know.
They're playing it a bit too conservatively.
I obviously want the happy medium. The happy medium would always be good. But when I listen to a new artist and a song comes out that I like, I want to hear it again like within the next week. Unlike Triple J, that will go, okay, we'll just, you like that song, do you? Okay, fantastic. Well, let's I'll play that in a fortnight. Or let's just scroll through 300 songs till about 2:17 yesterday morning to find out what song. Like that's just ridiculous. It's just not me. Forget it.
I think and I guess that's like for the people who listen to it all the time, they would hear it pretty regularly. But for the casual listener, like it sounds like you are, it's just not really, like I said, it's almost just like the cool thing to do because it probably does get played more often than what you're saying. You just don't hear it.
Well, Darcy knows some of the songs get played. She's like singing, and then I always make the joke. I always spin around and say, "Well, do you know this? Do you?" Like, because I've said it constantly. I'm like, you've been listening for more than like a couple of weeks. So yeah, I guess that's why I just can't get it. And there's just a lot of crap on there. There's just a lot of experimental crap. And it's just like going through the weeds to get to the roses. And all I want is roses. Just give me the rose.
It does have less. I don't know. Does it have no advertising or low amounts of advertising? Like,
yeah, it's very very limited.
Obviously, a lot less than like the other one.
Not,
So
not as much.
If you are someone who has it on work all day for 8 hours and you want to listen to music, it's probably going to be better than listening to your other ones. Like, you get more music, right? Is that safe to say?
I mean, if you want to call some of the experimental stuff music, mate, you can go right ahead. But
you might make a few enemies for anyone who listens to this, because I know some people are very, very touchy about their Triple J.
I know, mate. And speaking of our current discussions, like topic, whether it's overrated or underrated, I've got plenty more up my sleeve, mate, where it could be a little bit controversial, but it's going to make for great listening. That's at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
So in summary, I think underrated for the people who listen to it all the time, because it plays, like I said, a lot of new music and it gives you good variety music, maybe too much variety according to you. But for the person who tunes in, like, or says they tune in and they like it, just Hot 100 or Top 100 or whatever, then I think overrated. Mate, but one thing you did bring up there, which this is a bit of a bonus one, Shazam, heavily underrated. What a fantastic app.
Shazam's the best.
And that's been around for years. I still remember when it first came out and I got it and I was like, there is no way this picks up any song ever.
It's the best.
It tells me what it is. And sure enough, it did. I've brought it out of like the grocery store before and I hear a good song and it plays it like you can in the grocery store.
It's a great app. We should have saved it. We should have saved that for tomorrow. Shazam.
Oh,
overrated or underrated?
The most underrated app out there.
I'm pretty sure we can come up with 3 more topics just quietly. That was good, mate. I really enjoyed that, actually. I hope the listeners like it too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys. Let us know if you agree, disagree, and if you've got any other topic suggestions, please post below, because we'd love to get some suggestions from you guys for us to talk about in the coming week.
I'm looking forward to having numerous enemies by week's end.
All right, mate. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, gang.